What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd and I am back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning on the right side of the map in the blue color, playing as Isis. His name is Brexit Power, but he's affectionately known as Joe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is Joe. His opponent today in the red color playing as Oranos from the King clan. His name is Sensuy. The map is a Blue Lagoon, and this is just a random Blue ladder game from back in February. So long enough time has passed that whoever's seen this game surely has forgotten about it. And for those of you who have not seen this game, like me, it's going to be a very exciting one because, well, it's Joe and it's Sensuy. Sensuy is a really old expert who came back for the BGO, got whooped by Chemo, which is super unfortunate because we'd like to see where he actually stood up to the rest of the competition in the top level of play, considering he lost to the eventual winner. It's a bit sad, but what can you do? Now, we're going to have Sensuy versus Joe, though, so we get to see how he goes in this situation here. Relics on the map. Trojan Gate Hinge. Plus 20% hit points on your walls. And the flag, Stone of Buhan. We got the negative 25% wall gold cost. So we got the wall relics here on the map. Feels good. Feels very good indeed. Now, Sensuy is known to play standard. He's going to go 430, I reckon. Nothing too special. Try and go Murmillo and Terma and try and kill his opponent with his superior tactics in the army department and brute strength. Now, Joe, on the other hand, is known for his Anubite play. He loves the Anubites, but he also loves a little bit of Shifting Sands aggression. The only matchup that the 4.0 patch didn't kill for set is, well, this is Isis, but never mind. Let's totally ignore that. Isis has no Shifting Sands, so we're probably going to be seeing some Anubites here from him. It's a fairly early monument. You want to throw well, it's actually not that early in all honesty, but you want to throw this monument up a little bit early so you can get 5 favor in combination with 135 gold in order to get Flood of the Nile nice and early. Because Flood of the Nile is a really strong technology. It effectively gives you 1 extra villager on hunt. It's basically equal to 1 villager on hunt without hunting dogs. I've probably said that a million times, so for those of you who haven't heard it, there you go. Everyone else, deal with it. Hunting forward against Oranos is really, really smart pre 4 minutes 30. If you can get this... if you can get this zebra here, if you can eat this zebra here nice and early, then you can move backwards to berries, to pigs, to hunt on the sides, and there is some hunt on the sides over here. It's not really, it's actually a bit far forward. So really Joe's just trying to get this zebra out of the way nice and early. Even though he's still got these giraffe left, he's probably not going to find too much value out of getting up onto these rhino. Even if he goes nice and early here, it's going to be a little bit difficult here. So I got the monument to the soldiers coming up. So I'll be interested to see if we do see the Anubites or if we see Sphinx. Sphinx is totally viable strategy against Oranos. You build a couple of Sphinx and you get those upgrades for them. And you run around and you raid. And then your Ancestors Eclipse timing push is really, really strong. But we're seeing him do this thing where you put a lot of villagers onto the temple because he has to get it up in order to advance to the next age. He's going to want to only build 1 more villager in advance here. So he's not too far behind. He's going to be 30 seconds behind his opponent. But going through Anubis, lots of villagers on gold. So it's probably going to be a fast second town center with Anubites. We do see the oracles moving forward. So potentially going to be trying to Valor and take them out. We do have some zebra over here. He can move to if he so chooses. And we'll see what Sensuy is doing. Going through Prometheus, no surprises here. 2 villagers wood, 2 villagers gold, 3 villagers food, and a mana going up on that location. Very, very standard stuff here. And do we see some upgrades? We've got the pickaxe coming through. We do not. Oh, and we have hand axe already researched. So we'll see where he goes. He's got the oracles over here. I hope he doesn't use Valor here because this would be a small misplay because you're not going to get any value out of this, and you're going to need that Valor for your Murmillo and your Termite to deal with the Anubites coming or the Sphinx coming. Hey, No Mercy, how you doing? Hey, Alive in the Wired. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We've got the Anubis has come through now. Granary going up, berries over here. Villagers moving up for this town center here. He's probably going to, yeah, he's easily going to be able to grab this one, but it doesn't really secure anything for him. It gives him a wood line. There is this nice gold mine back here, but that's about it. This is a bit of a dangerous second town center, in all honesty. But we are going to be seeing Necropolis coming through instantly for Joe, and then Feed of the Jackal out straight away. That way he doesn't spend that early food that he needs to be putting villagers into while he's grabbing this town center. So he's got the Anubite out already running around trying to find some stuff. I've got no idea where it is though. Here it is. He's going to be running around. By the time he hits his opponent's base, he will have Feed of the Jackal out. So the Anubite's going to be able to do a fair amount of damage without taking that much damage himself. Gets the second town center. Barracks go up. Probably going to be making slingers from the barracks initially because he needs so much food. From his town centers, you do need about 8 villagers on food to produce consistently from your town center. If you're on berries, you need more. If you're on hunts, it's about 8. But then if you are making Anubites as well, you're making 100 food, maybe like every 30 seconds or so. So it's still kind of like another 4 villagers you need on food. So we're still a little bit behind on the food to be making anything out of these barracks apart from Slinger. And also Joe has nothing on wood to produce the Slinger either. So the barracks is a little bit preemptive, but it's just there to build stuff when he needs it. We do see the Shockwave coming in, and he's probably going to be able to get out of here or try to micro that citizen, and does manage to pick it off because of the villagers bumping the Anubite. Now that's going to hurt a little bit because you want to save those. That Shockwave, it's going to happen, but you need to get out of there and survive with it. So now Sensuy gets a little bit of a win there, picking off that early Anubite, but while that's going on, these villagers are happily gathering food from this location. He's building up a defensive wall here that he can run through once the army gets up to him. Just chuck a gate in here, finish this wall, and you can just walk through it. You're not going to lose too many villagers. We do see a town center now coming up for Sensuy. This citizen getting picked off. Feels good for Joe. And the rest of Sensuy's army has to come over and defend against this. And it's really smart. What he's doing with these Anubites is he's managing to get all of this forward hunt that he normally wouldn't have. I feel like if this was his idea, if Joe realized that he was able to pull this much attention with one Anubite, he should have come up for these Rhino over here. But I guess Sensuy's got... Yeah, Sensuy doesn't even have line of sight on this because of the Oracle over here. And you see the Obelisk here, you see the Oracle here, you know you can kind of sneak onto this gold, onto this food here. But not doing that, just going to eat the berries first. And you can also just have all of these pigs here. If he gets husbandry, which he does have, he'll be able to grab those nice and quick. Smart. Now you see 3 town centers for Sensuy now. It's a good one. 3 town center retaliation against the 2 town center ISIS. Very, very standard. It allows Oranos to get a lot of economy going, get to the Mythic Age at like 14 minutes, and with a full pop army, it's really, really strong. So we'll see if he can abuse that and get the timing push in there. But it doesn't really set yourself too far ahead on the economy because the ISIS player is going to catch up to you on the economy once they hit the 80 villages, they're basically 80 civilian units. And then beyond that, they get caravans and slowly but surely do recoup their losses. So you basically have a timing push with this 3 town center boom. We do see the Anubite finds the other town center, going to try and pick off this citizen. And he is going to be able to pick off the citizen if he doesn't garrison into there. But Sensuy does do that, having to yet again send this army over to deal with these Anubites. And now the army's over here to help out. We see another Valor coming in, starting to bash away at this Anubite. Pathing blocking's really, really nice. And he should be able to pick that one off. Does get that Anubite pick off there. Joe not controlling that Anubite to the best of his ability, unfortunately. Going to be losing that one. Finishing off with the Zebra, has to move back. Does have enough resources to advance to the next age here. So we are going to be seeing Nephthys coming through. This is interesting, to be honest, because at this point, Joe doesn't need any more food here. He can just chuck villagers onto wood and gold, and then chuck down a Migdol Stronghold and a Siege Workshop and go for a time push of his own, which will hit the Oranos player before his power spike. So he should be able to do an Ancestors Eclipse timing push, or sorry, it's not going to be Ancestors Eclipse, but it's Ancestors and Plague of Serpents timing push with Chariot Archers, Anubites, and Siege Towers, and maybe Priest and Pharaoh as well. And that'll be really, really brutal. So we'll see if that's what Joe's going for here. Sensuy has to be considering how is he going to defend against this. So I guess the way you defend against it, you got to get full pop as fast as you can, not lose any units, not get hit by the raids too much. Maybe throw up some walls here and there just to like screw around with the pathing of the siege towers. Maybe you can throw up some walls here for like maybe bait out an early ancestors or something and run through the wall. It's going to be a tough one to defend against. That being said, it is only ancestors. It's not ancestors eclipse. So going to be a little bit easier to deal with than otherwise. And we do see the third town center for Joe. So he's actually not going for the timing push off 2 town centers. He's going to go for that third town center and just attempt to win the game in a more standard fashion. About searching around for something. The Hero Murmillo on their tail. Sensuy, on the other hand, he's got some villagers up here which might get harassed, but not going to happen. The Anubite's still going to be chasing around. Their speed is 5.3, which is faster than the Murmillo. The Murmillo should never catch up to them, but if they bump into something or get hit by something, they get slowed down. It can be a difficult situation. We do see a huge fight over here. I totally missed that while I was working out the Anubite here. Plague of Serpents had to be used. A couple of Scorpion Men are out now, so these Scorpion Men are huge. They're really, really strong units. We do see the Shockwave coming down, another Valor coming down, and it's something like Joe trying to force this fight a little bit, gets Shockwave, loses a bunch of units, but doesn't lose any Myth units just yet. And he's now spamming out Chariot Archers, spamming out Axemen as well. No more Axemen getting out. He's got a lot of villagers on gold, and he's still making those Scorpion Men. So we've got the third town center up now for Joe. And Sensuy sitting at 145 pop with max villagers, I would assume, just about. He's probably on max villagers now once that last one comes in. So farms go up. Needs to probably transition some of these wood villagers onto food villages, basically onto farms in order to get to the next age, in order to get to the Mythic age. He's going to also need to eat, mine some more of that gold. He doesn't have 1,000 gold in his base. I see him running. Oh, he's running into this. This is going to be really, really bad for him, taking a lot of damage. But the Oranos pathfinding is way too good. Gets out of there without losing too many units there. So that's nice for Sensuy. Brexit power. Joe, on the other hand, he is still pumping villages. He's got not that much food in the bag, or food villages going on. So he's actually not producing villages very efficiently at all. I'd like to see him transition some of those villages off gold at this point and onto food, especially because he's got the market going up, wanting to build some of those camel caravans. And now we do see military barracks coming up now for Sensuy, and he will be looking for the next age. Again, getting caught out a little bit. This army movement, he's looking for something to do with them, but they're just a little bit too slow for Joe's army here. He's trying to figure out what he can do. But I feel like at this point, Joe's actually in a decent enough spot. He's kind of weathered the storm, and Sensuy's just a little bit behind. He should be advancing. He should have been advancing about a minute ago to the heroic age in order to hit his timing on the mythic age. But he's just, the economic management's just a little bit off. You can see how many resources he's got in the bank, but it's just not the right ones. Swap 800 of that wood into food and gold, and you're basically just into gold, and then you're there. You were in Hyperion a minute and a half ago. And then well on your way to Mythic Age. You can see now he's already got 1,000 of both of those resources there, so he could have swapped that nicely. But you can always trade that into gold if he so chooses. And get to that next stage. We do see some Scorpion Men looking for some raids now. Looking at what they can do. We are seeing the Chariot Archers get caught out. The Terma with some nice accuracy, able to pick off one of those there. But now the Scorpion Men moving into this location here. A little bit of distraction going on with these Chariot Archers while the attack's coming. We'll see if Sensuy can react to it or not. He does get the bell, so he knows that this is happening. We see a heroized citizen here, heroizing all of those citizens in order to save them. Not sure if that's worth, but he does realize he needs to get the gold income, and still chasing these chariot archers around. But at this point, he's kind of wasting a little bit of time here. The rest of the Isis army comes in to greet him. There is the Hyperion, can use that one to run away, which he so chooses to do, but unluckily gets 2 axemen and 2 chariots instead of 4 chariots. Obviously, he does get a Nubite as well, so that's always nice, and we are going to be seeing Sensuy throw down that market instantly, looking to go to that next age, but it's going to be a 15-minute and 45-second, or even more 15-minute, 16-minute heroic age, which, as we've discussed, is, oh, well, that would be about 2 minutes to 2 minutes behind, considering the amount of things that's happened in this game. You see the Oracle hero getting his dagger out, but he's going to get picked off by those Scorpion Man. Siege Workshop Barrack coming up, and Joe's got to know what's coming for himself here. He's got to know that the Tartarian Gate will be coming. I'd like to see kind of. I can't actually click on any god power, so I don't actually know where the radius is going to be. But I wouldn't mind seeing the monument to the villagers get deleted and then rebuilt over here. And then also building out a monument to the, what do you call it? Monument to the pharaohs or monument to the priest or something. Can't remember what it's called. But basically the way you do that is you start the third monument first. Then you delete the monument to the villagers and start it over here after second. That's kind of how you get it going. That way you can build. That way you can be building them at the same time. There is the Hecate coming through for Sensuy and Joe going through Osiris. So both going to hit at roughly the same time, actually, but maybe like 30, 45 seconds behind for Joe. But that's about standard for the Isis getting to the Mythic Age at about, you want to get there about 16 minutes. So it's about standard for the Ice player to be about 2 minutes behind the Oranos player, but Joe's macro a little bit off, but not to the same degree as Sensuy's here. And we do have a nice trade route as well. I think this would have been the thing that delayed Joe a little bit in going to the Mythic Age. Starting this trade route a little bit early can save you a little bit in the late game, but it does, as you proceed into the late game, but it does slow down your Mythic Age. So that's that, and we do see the army getting split up yet again. The turn looking like they want to move in and cast the Tartarian Gate in Joe's base. Where's he going for? It's looking like he's probably going to go here. Monument to the Priest is trying to get up, but it's going to be way too late. And we do see the Terma are in here. I don't think this is a good position to put the Tartarian Gate in all honesty. You kind of want to chuck it down on this location over here. But we'll see where he chooses to put it up. It's almost, the monument's almost up and he doesn't have line of sight of that. So that's going to delay Tartarian Gate quite a bit. He's looking to get it in here, but he's not going to be able to. Maybe, no, he can't get it in here at all. So he's going to have to find another place for that one there. And Joe just chasing around these Terma. And he will be able to put it down. It's actually a better location over here to put it down. Probably would have been better to do the monument on this side near his gold mine. But now we have the Pharaoh here. Oh, the Pharaoh here? Son of Osiris? No Son of Osiris? We see a nice raid coming in with the Contarius and the heavy Contarius here. Lampade here as well, but the heavy chariots on the back side of this army going to clean everything up. Now the champion Contarius coming out really, really quickly. That's a lot of resources in there. 700, 200 gold really, really quickly. And he's going to be going for this location here, trying to pick off villagers on gold mines. We just see these heavy Terma getting picked off. Lots of units dying here. So you see the Titans coming through for Sensuy. Medium Spearman coming through for Joe. And we'll see if he can manage to get this one up or not. But the army of Sensuy is getting completely torn apart here. This attack lost a lot here. Wouldn't mind seeing if Sensuy can get some side mid-goal, or sorry, palaces going down or something like that. Joe, on the other hand, just needs to play nice and safe and slow. He's got ancestors to pick off that Titan Gate. You can, once it goes down, you keep a chariots off to the side and you go for it. Ancestors that one, and you're in a really good position. We are going to be seeing Social of the Titans for Joe as well to be chasing Sensuy's. And there's really low probability, or low chance, low opportunity is probably more the correct word, for this Titan Gate to get picked off by Sensuy, because he does not have Vortex or anything like that, and he's used all God powers that might help him in order to stop that one. He does have Tartarian Gate, so if the Titan Gate gets placed, I don't know, somewhere like here, then Tartarian Gate can come in on this location here, which may be able to harass a little bit and slow it down enough for Sensuy to get his own Titan out. But we'll see. We'll see what's happening. Sensuy's actually chucking up walls all across his map, trying to quarter it off. This is a lot of resources you lose here if you do this as Atlantean, though, because it's basically like using 3 villages to build a wall, which kind of no one does. And there is the Titan Gate going in for Sensuy. We've got some army chasing Sensui's here, and I reckon Joe just goes straight for it. We have watchtowers out. Sensuy's at 126 pop. So many resources in the bank. What are you doing, dude? Build some units. Just getting some Contarius out now. This is going to be a little too late. We do see the Shockwave coming in. We've got the Satyr coming in. Ancestors comes in. This time gets on 1000 HP though, so it's going to take a while for it to go down. But the Citizen will get picked off really quickly here. We see the Titan Gate coming down now for Joe in a fairly decent position, but it's still close enough for a Titan Gate if you chuck it down in this location here. But not going for it just yet. And we've got a lot of units in the base of Sensuy. It looks like the Titan Gate going to be focused by those Ancestors. Chariot Archers trying to take off the Citizens, and Sensuy is sitting at 135 population with these Contarius coming through. Might need to buy some food in order to keep building them. We do see the Contarius are on top of this Son of Osiris. They're going to be doing a lot of damage to that one there. Priest able to pick off that Satyr instantly there. But this Titan Gate's still alive for the time being. It's looking like it's a bit dire though for him, even though the Contarius coming in. The Son of Osiris is going to be dying really shortly. We see the Tartarian Gate coming down in the base of Joe in this really specific period. This is going to be a lot of damage done to Joe here, and it's looking like the Titan Gate does not go down. It's looking like Sensuy's managed to survive in that one, but he's going to have to rebuild a lot of those villages because he lost so many of them, and Joe's Titan Gate is overtaken Sensuy's at 30% now, while the 27% only. So the Titan Gate going up, it's not actually going up about the same speed now because the villages on Joe's Titan Gate must be very... I don't know, he's got a lot of villages on it, but we are seeing this Tartarian Gate going to be doing a lot of damage. But Migdol Stronghold here, Town Center here, if you focus fire this Tartarian Gate, we're seeing some mercenary getting built into the town center before they get ejected out onto this Tartarian Gate. If you focus the Tartarian Gate down with your town center, with your Migdol Stronghold, takes a while, but it's only got 60% pierce armor as opposed to 95% from everything else, so it does die fairly fast, and then you can clean up all of the Tartarian spawns with Priest and Pharaoh and be totally fine. But Sensuy still in this game looking really good. Titans are probably going to trade themselves off though, so it's not going to be a game-ending situation. So Sensuy's going to have to figure out a way to deal with Joe's late game Egyptian here, and he really needs to rebuild some of those villages that he lost, because I think he just, while there's more villages here again, I think he just brought them over from other resources. Because what is this? 12 plus I can't do math. 18. Yeah, he's short like 3 or 4 villages, I think. You kind of like count up these villages plus the ones of the town centers. So we got the Stone Gate going to get taken down by these Contarius. The Contarius, if they have they don't have any special upgrades, so they don't actually have any bonuses. I'm pretty sure there's an upgrade in the barracks which does Contarius Hero against buildings, Lance of Stone. I think that's in Hyperion. Someone can correct me in chat about where you get that from, but you can grab that one and then you heroize your Contarius, and you can do like town center raids with them, similar to like heteroid raids, but just better. And we have Axeman out for Joe as well. Joe kind of needs to be thinking about some spearmen. So we'll see if Joe's got this set up right. Basically, when you're making your Titan Gate, you want to grab the villages and shift click off the Titan Gate straight. He has got it set up straight onto their resource, so they're back to work immediately, and you don't have to be thinking about that as soon as they come up. As opposed to Sensuy here, who did not do that. So now his Titan's up. He's going to have to click the Titans, going to have to click the villages to different resources, managing these Contarius as well. So many idols here, does get them back to work, and they're away. But you could have sorted that out at some sort of downtime. But alas, not happening. We do see some guard towers coming up now for Joe. Needs to protect this trade route at all costs, because this is his entire This is an entire gold mine actually. Joe's actually in a pretty dire situation in terms of resources here. We do see the Contarius still searching for something with the Titan just gonna chill in his base, probably just click onto Sensuy's Titan. Hopefully he remembers to whack the Titan instead. Apparently it's Thea for the Contarius upgrade. Okay, well he doesn't have access to it. But these Contarius raids are very strong, and Joe doesn't have the right armor composition to really deal with them at this point. What guard towers are a good idea with the upgrades, and you are going to be seeing that Sensuy's Titan is going to be going for this town center, but he's just going to bash down this wall. This Titan should catch up to him. We don't have the Mythic Rejuvenation out for Sensuy. Maybe going to take a couple of hits from the town center, but that means that the Titan for Joe's probably going to survive a little bit. Oh, we've got some Contarius coming over to Pathing Block. Oh, I like this from Sensuy. Really smart play. Going to be Pathing blocking the Titan here. Runs through the wooden wall, unfortunately. A bit of a bug there as the Titan's trying to make his way over. This town center will be going down, which is absolutely huge. But at what cost? The Titan damage is going to be fairly large here. So pull the villagers away. He's going to have to get this town center back up. This is the trade route that goes down for Joe right now. And now the Titan is going to be coming in. We'll see if Sensuy decides to turn around and fight. He's going to be, if he does turn around and fight, it's going to be fighting underneath 5 priests here. So he needs to figure out a way to get far enough away from the priest or pick off the priest while he fights this. But we can see this is about 2-hit or 1-hit advantage for Joe's Titan as they start bashing each other. So Joe's Titan's going to come out of this with some advantage. There are Contarius here with 1 HP that could be picked off that are doing a lot of damage. They do... What is that? 350% bonus damage against this Titan here. So it's probably going to be roughly even for a little bit, but it's going to end up with Joe's Titan being a little bit stronger. Now we've got Palace coming up in the front. So this is going to be what Joe's going to have to clean up with. This Titan probably going to be left with maybe 200, 300 HP. And no rejuvenation for the Sensuy Titan either, so no little bits of extra HP to maybe get him an extra hit in, and that's going to be 600 HP left on Joe's Titan to deal some damage, so we'll see what he does with that. Remember, it is 20 population, so you can't dilly-dally with this Titan. You need him to be doing something, otherwise you're going to be really struggling to do things like produce camel caravans. But Joe's a little bit underpopped at the moment, so it's not that big of a deal. So we'll see what he does choose to do. I wouldn't mind seeing him go for town center, do a bit of town center raiding with the last 600 HP. Maybe pick off some Contarius here, trade those. It's not a bad idea to just trade that HP off to pick some units off. We do have some champion fanatics out here as well, and Joe's Titan getting killed slowly but surely, taking about 1 damage a hit from everything except for the heroes. These fanatics deal a crazy amount of damage, and we are going to be seeing Joe get away from that army, going for these palace. We've got some watchtowers coming up in the front of Joe as well, and we've got some siege towers on the market of Sensuy. He's not watching. He's going to have no gold income. Sensuy with actually he's got 2,000 gold in the bank, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. Pick off the siege towers and then build another market back up, and you're totally fine. But it's just a little bit of pain. Titan going to get picked off now. 35 HP does fall right now, and feels good. Feels good, and we just see the Contarius all getting picked off. But the big issue right now is Joe needs to build medium spearmen. He needs to grade out like heavy spearmen out. He's got serpent spear out. He needs to get all of the spear upgrades to deal with these Contarius. But then he's also going to deal with fanatics coming out, which are really strong as well. So Joe's got a ways to go to stabilize in this game. See if he can do it or not. But again, Oranos late game is difficult to manage against ISIS just because of mercenaries, just because of the fact you've got less villagers, because you've got those citizens. There is ways around your lack of economy. For example, you can build more camel caravans and sacrifice some villages there, so you can get like a 40 caravan trade route. Thank you so much for the prime I can't say your name. Columinatiog. Appreciate you, man. Thanks so much. And yes. Jared Archer's going to be chasing these Contaris. Nice. We've got to see what Joe's going to be doing. He's making a move forward with the villagers. Migdol Stronghold trying to grab this gold mine, which is probably a big point for Joe because his trade's still not the best here. Like, even though he's got, like, what is this, 16, 20 maybe? 20 camel caravans. You kind of need 30-ish to have a decent enough trade without having to deal with anything. We do see these villagers going to be trying to fight those Contaris. Do pick one off, garrison into the Migdol Stronghold. Like to see that. But Sensuy still going for this location. Going for this location here. The palace is able to be sieged from this high ground here. If it gets a wall up, be able to be nice and protected. But there are some Contarius heroes that will be coming in with iron upgrades. And so he's just so far ahead. But like, the longer this game goes on, the better it is for Joe, because he's going to get those upgrades out slowly but surely. He's a master of defense, and we'll see if he can manage to make it work. But still using champion chariots to counter Contarius here. It's a tried and true strategy, the old chariot archer spam. So it kind of works, because even though the Contaris have 45% pierce armor, the champion chariot have 43% hack armor, and these Contaris only get a 25% bonus against the chariot archers. So it's not that big of a deal. It's like +4 or something. So maybe 20 damage versus 12.75. And I guess they have more HP, but the chariot archers attack first. I got those Spy Siphon coming in, and can be greeted with some of those mercenaries. And we are seeing this palace going to get picked off. This Fire Siphon does a lot of damage to the catapult once he starts hitting it, but it's a little bit too late, and it looks like this palace will be falling. But there are many palaces in the back here for Sensuy. And Joe making a move on this location. He realizes if he can push through here, it is the market that he shuts down. And that's all of the gold income. There is the last gold mine over here. There's still 1,000 gold left in the base for Sensuy. 187, excuse me. It was 1,000 at one point. And we are going to be taking down this fortified town center at this point here. Fire Siphon going down by the mercenary. Gonna have to repair this town center. And that's working nicely. What's the upgrade situation? We don't even have iron upgrades, so this could be even more, like 40, quite a bit. Jesus, okay. Still got more upgrades that Joe can get, but Joe's still struggling. He's actually not struggling on economy anymore. Is his armory coming out? No, he's not producing upgrades. Sometimes I find Joe gets really set on one thing and forgets to do the simple things well. And getting those armory upgrades out, and but his strategy and his game sense is immaculate. So he's going for the trade, and we do see guard towers out to defend against this, and there is no siege workshop up, so it's going to be a really slow attack here. These llama caravans have decent defense, and Joe's camel caravans now going to get picked off here. Feels really, really bad for Joe, but the mercenary infantry coming out, and we're going to deal with these guys as the camel caravans are trying to die, but Joe's still spamming out those towers. Got some more Fire Siphon getting picked off, and Joe managing to defend here while attacking, doing a lot of damage. More siege workshop coming up. I'd love to see some siege towers. Maybe not catapult. Maybe not necessary to build catapult. Maybe catapult and just chuck a wall up over here, and it'll be really, really big. And there we go. More watchtowers and baluster towers now for Joe. Still not getting those armory upgrades, economic upgrades. Has everything except for the 3rd tier wood upgrade, which is escaping me right now. Carpenters, maybe? Yes. Fortified town center sitting there doing its thing. These guard towers do a lot of work. 13.6 damage, and that's 2 arrows as well. So it's more like 26 damage a second or something, or 26 damage a shot, more so. But there is more siege workshop coming in. Catapult moving forward, ready to start taking this down. Would love to see Joe throw up a wall here, just from the cliff to the wood, just to make sure this catapult doesn't get picked off by like a straight Contarius or something. But more of these camel caravans are getting picked off right now. Sensuy completely on the trade route, slowing all gold income for Joe. But Joe's got this gold mine here now, so he could be sending some villagers forward if he so chose. But he needs to deal with this, and he's still trying to build out mercenary cavalry. And these guys are moving in, unfortunately moving into the ballast tower, which will be able to take care of these Contarios pretty quickly, especially with the other town center attacking. There's a lot of damage that he's taking. We do see the fire siphon coming and trying to slow down these catapult, but more Contarios from the back, and you can see how much damage they do once they're on top of the catapult, but they die really fast to the champion Spearman, and this town center will be falling really soon. We've got some of the fire siphon are coming onto the town center, villagers coming off the town center, ready to help out. Mummy sitting in the back here, helping out as well for idle camel caravans, and you get sent to work. These fire siphon do go down, and that's perfect for Joe right now. But Contarios coming into the back, no walls on this back, so these catapult get picked off. But the town center looks like it's about to go down. Oh, it survives with one shot of a catapult there. So really nice defense so far from Sensuy. He needs to grab all these villagers, move them over, and defend this town center. Otherwise, he just loses here. If this catapult can build, if this siege works, can build a catapult, this catapult can get onto the town center, it's going to be completely lights out. But it's just not happening. Well, it's trying to happen. The Contarios sitting in the back, they see the catapult, they have blood, they're going to go in, they're going to pick it off before it even throws a shot. It looks like there it goes down. Fire siphon gets picked off in the back. Villagers yet again trying to chase down these fire siphon. They're sitting here, and they will actually be able to pick them off. Sensuy needs to retreat these if he wants to deal with this, and he is going to be doing that. We've got some mummy moving in as well. It's a lot of fire siphon here. He's going for a huge push on that town center. Villager moving back in, hero villager. But still, this looks like it's been defended quite nicely so far by Sensuy. So really well played by him to be defending that push from Joe. But these fire siphon are scary. I'd love to see him go for like the houses somewhere. Like if he can push through this here, kill off 4 houses, and then go for an attack somewhere else to pick off this, or maybe even just bring the fire siphon back to this location to pick them all off, because he needs to deal with this forward front from Joe. Otherwise, he's just going to be getting sieged. And once Joe realizes he can just build 1 wall, 2 walls, and take this town center down for free, because there's nothing that can really jump walls through the Atlantean, it's going to be difficult. And we do see that town center is getting really close to dying. 1 shot, 2 shots. The villagers are on top of it here. And he's going to be taking it down, and there it goes. Really, really, oh man, the villagers actually repair the town center fast enough to keep it alive. Nah, town center goes down. Now, so we'll see if Sensuy can make a push through here. There's so many spearmen, and spearmen get a 100% bonus versus siege. So there's like multiple reasons to build the spearmen. The Contarios coming in, getting picked off by the ballista tower basically instantly here. And these fire siphon getting picked off so fast, and Sensuy taps out after losing that position there. GG. Well played by Joe, but I think Sensuy really showed that he's actually a top talent here. And how's his seeding been a little bit different? Like he could have really made it far in the BGO just because of how well he played here. A couple of like small mistakes, like allowing this position to get set up, and maybe like, I mean, attacking this trade route was so nice, but he could have like moved villagers forward while it was happening and build up some watchtowers in here, force out some defensive siege or something like that, and he would have had it. There's just a lot of extra stuff you got to do in order to finish the Egyptian off, because you got to remember, if you're attacking an Egyptian, they're spending a lot of resources on mercenary, and you're not spending anything. So you can be stockpiling resources, and they're sitting on 0. So the way you counter the mercenaries, you got to build watchtowers, you got to build walls, and you gotta make your push slow and methodical. Because if the mercenary get on top of you, on top of your siege specifically, your push just gets stunted, and by the time you allow the ISIS or the Egyptian player to get time to get out catapult, it becomes really hard to pick those catapult off with your siege or your Contarios, because there's mercenary there. They start building walls, and it's hard to get in there as well. And that's that. We've got some more games for you tonight, so hang with me. I'll answer some questions in chat if you've got any, and we'll move on to the game shortly.